to know you have the right people, to know you're going about it the right way, and not just sort of trying to staff warm bodies is the competitive advantage we have. And then also, since we pull from a lot of these area leads, workflow management success owners, area experts, essentially quality control cell leads, AP experts, cytology, micro, you got to put them under one umbrella too, so that you can leverage the collective knowledge of experts in every area, even if each individual person can't be an expert across everything in Beaker.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Grow IT podcast. One of your hosts here, Trey King. And today we are excited to have a guest, Robb from Honeydew Consulting. And we'll be diving into his story a bit today and, a little bit more on what his company does and some engaging insights into the technology industry. So make sure to stick around. But without further ado, Robb, welcome.
Yeah, hello. Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on the podcast. I think I have a lot to share. And maybe to start, I can give you a little bit more about me and my background, and then maybe even a little bit about Honeydew. We certainly exist in a pretty niche area, but one that's obviously very involved in healthcare IT. So to start off, a little bit about me. I'm from Colorado originally. When I wound up going to school in New York, kind of jumped all over the place. I was big into track and field at the time and competed in college. I definitely enjoyed a lot of extracurriculars and was a guy who got pretty good grades. And then by happenstance, I wound up starting at Epic, formerly Epic Systems, which is an electronic health record system. It's the biggest in the US. More than likely, every person in the US has an electronic medical record within Epic. It's one sort of integrated platform that, it really it pulls together a lot of different applications that other hospital systems kind of have disparate systems, third-party vendors that all kind of piece together in Frankenstein systems. Epic was one integrated system. And after working there, it was something that really understood a lot of the growth potential as well. So was able to first get involved there on the Beaker application, which is then what led to kind of future career growth, figuring out a need and how to address it with my own firm down the line. But that's, I guess, the initial background on me.
Excellent. So tell me, Robb, how did you get into this business sector? What was it like that, that spark, that your initial interest, that you got so passionate about this?
Yeah. I mean, so working in healthcare, it's pretty easy to get pretty motivated and become a spark. Just you're dealing with patient care. Everyone has very similar goals. Obviously, the impact you have, it's sometimes very quantifiable on how quickly a specimen can get turned around, or how much money you can save a healthcare organization, or how many patients they can see. All that just inherently has a lot of value. It kind of gets your moral compass going. For me, though, just during my time at Epic, I got to work on a lot of different installs. And when I was there, you really get a good respect for how difficult it is and how disruptive it is for a lab in the first place to implement a new laboratory information system. And so when I was working at Epic, I was specific to, it's called Beaker. That's the lab application that Epic has. And when you're installing a new lab system, essentially it's really difficult to get the right buy-in, to get the right people to build it out the right way. But every now and then, it's, again, high stakes with patient care, but you'll see like these superhero consultants that would come on that seem to know everything and they have the answers to everything. And there's a ton of variability associated with that. Some would shop for shoes all day and other ones just really had it all. And so that's what initially inspired me to say, hey, if it's possible to sort of bring a firm together where you can get all those superheroes in one spot and they can help each other grow and network, it kind of writes itself a little bit. And then actually during my non-compete year, when I left Epic, I wound up writing my master's capstone thesis on developing a more competitive health information tech firm with that exact platform.
Oh, excellent. Tell me, and just a bit more holistically, based on your expertise, what are the current market trends, currently in your industry, in your niche, that you are aware of? What way is the wind blowing these days?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on within LISs. I think Epic in itself with its Beaker product, that's continuing to grow. For a while, it was clinical pathology was a more mature product. And then anatomic pathology is getting added on a lot of places. And then even outside of that, what we're seeing is there's a lot of international growth as well. So not only is Beaker as an application growing and maturing, but it's also spread its wings into more sort of niche lab workflows as well. So genomics, molecular, and then even blood banks sort of, not too far off. They decided to sort of take that on as a commitment as well in the coming years. So there's always more to grow and more to learn. So I feel like the future trends is just getting more comprehensive within an integrated LIS, because that's going to provide functionality that other just third-party systems really are going to struggle with. So the goal is to stay on top of things and to kind of keep that edge. I know at Epic especially, they've had a focus on also generative AI and whole slide imaging and things that can just help turn around times be that much more quicker, but also more involved technically as well, that can also leverage, again, that expertise you'd need across good consultants.
Got it. Tell me, talking about Epic now, if you don't mind, could you possibly just, just for the listeners out there, just elaborate a bit more of, what sets your company apart in the Epic consulting space, that we can just position it a bit better?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I think when I first started learning about this a little bit, it's sort of a
Yeah.
saturated space. There's a lot of other firms out there, and everybody can say they have the best consultants, but what's the competitive edge? What's the difference? It's hard to tell with most firms.
Yeah.
What I took sort of with Honeydew was a complete juxtaposition. It's essentially trying to make a co-op work with the best consultants, with just, again, a hyper focus on quality, and then figuring out how to provide the best for good consultants so you can attract the best consultants, and then you guarantee to have the best outcomes. So our design is always to provide the highest take-home percentages, to the best benefits. We have profit sharing, we issue bonuses, and because we found a lot of that helps just strengthen our word of mouth. With any other firm, a lot of times they'll kind of focus at it backwards. We like to focus on talent management to get the best people, to then find the best opportunities. A lot of other places will try to win over clients to then see who they can find and then staff a need a client might have. So very different approach, I would say, and one that I think resonates very well with, one, our consultants being a very exclusive firm, just making sure we have the right people. And then two, also our clients who know that they don't have to gamble or risk anything. They're always going to get a heavy hitter, a hired gun, essentially, in terms of the consultant they're getting.
Got it. You've now obviously mentioned a couple of things there, but what would you say would be like the most significant value your business can bring to, other businesses for that matter, and from a value standpoint, and then as well as how do you currently communicate like that value to your clientele?
Yeah, I mean, there's no other Beaker specific consulting firm that's out there. And we're a firm that has the ability to qualify people better than any other firm. I worked at Epic for a number of years. I was consulting in the space for in the space for nearly a decade at this point, or over a decade, nearly 12 years at this point. And so we can qualify the right people. You need Beaker's kind of on the back end of workflows. It's more technical than any other application. It has more interfaces. So you need to qualify the right people. You need to make sure that you have the right people in the room in the first place, because they're so impactful. They can be on a project for potentially years to make sure that things are on the right track, and being able to staff that early, I think, is really important as well. So to know you have the right people, to know you're going about it the right way, and not just sort of trying to staff warm bodies is the competitive advantage we have. And then also, since we pull from a lot of these area leads, workflow management success owners, area experts, essentially, quality control cell leads, AP experts, cytology, micro, you got to put them under one umbrella too, so then you can leverage the collective knowledge of experts in every area, even if each individual person can't be an expert across everything in Beaker. And I would say us being very outcome focused is also a big piece of that too. And I think that, again, other places can say that, but with our, we're going to have improved return on investment. We're going to have better adoption of Beaker functionality. And again, just sort of improved patient care. So what we can offer is better expertise in that area, more reliable expertise, but then also a workforce that's unparalleled as well. We've had big escalated clients in the past nearing go live that need all hands on deck and might need a dozen plus high-level Beaker consultants, and no other firm is going to be able to staff that either. So we have the insight, we have the right people, and also we have a pipeline that's sort of secured to make sure we can scale quickly as well.
Yeah, that's excellent. Tell me, in your opinion, what type of mindset would you say is needed to be a successful founder of a company?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think it can take sort of a lot of different mindsets potentially, but I think what worked for me really with Honeydew was, one, making sure you have a good enough idea. And it has to be an idea that you're passionate about, one you're motivated with, and one that you know has the potential for success. You can't just make anything work. It can't be a cult of personality. Any individual has to at least be based on a very good idea right off the bat. And then besides that, as I mentioned, it's having the right passion, so you have the right work and effort to put into it. It's essentially an investment to make sure that you're going the right way, you're invested in it, and then you can reap dividends on the back end once it can be successful, and making sure that you're passionate enough that other people feel the same way and have that right buy-in. And with Honeydew, I think it's kind of easy.
Yeah, but that's quite profound. That's very much good advice. And then just I'm thinking now, obviously you've been around the block, right? Like you said, you've been more than 10 years previously, obviously with Epic as well. But what are like some of the most important things that you would say up until now, right, that you've learned in your career? Give us like two golden nuggets of things that you say, you know what, these are these two types of things that just pulled me forward.
Oh yeah, good question. I think being flexible enough to always sort of change your plan. Like we're small enough still. We're about 40 senior consultants, but we're small enough that we can change direction or accommodate different things. Or I'm always challenging myself to provide more for our consultants and make sure that our clients are getting more out of every install we have. And there's always more things you can change, but especially keeping up with certain trends, you have to be flexible. You can't just go all in and say, hey, this works now, it's always going to work. But then sort of on the opposite side of that, it's also making sure that you stay true to like your vision statement, your goals in the first place, right? I think it's easy to kind of sell out or just staff somebody because it's a quick buck or something along those lines, but you have to be true to the vision that you're trying to accomplish in terms of having an impact on patients, having the best people, making sure to reestablishing the brand that you have set up. And then a quick tangent to that too, probably making sure that your name is recognizable. I know Honeydew originally, we set it up kind of as a reference to some of the Beaker Muppets, because Beaker was the Muppet with the orange hair. He's kind of always getting into trouble. And then Dr. Bunsen Honeydew was the actual professor. So you got Beaker and Honeydew go hand in hand. And now we find out that most people think we're named after a fruit. So not quite the direction we were aiming for originally, but it's, hey, you set your goals.
But it's working, right? It's working. So
yeah, hey, can't complain. It's memorable to say the least.
Of course, Rob, it was truly lovely having you on. I can fully understand why you guys are so successful. Tell me if the people, the listeners want to reach out to you, where can they go about to find you guys?
Yeah, we have a website, honeydewconsulting.com. It has good information for anyone who's, if you think you're an elite Beaker consultant, we have a retention rate of near 100% over the 7 years we've been around. So we're always looking for the best people. We're pretty exclusive for who we let on, and clients alike. Info@honeydewconsulting.com is a great place to reach us as well.
Oh, lovely. Well, there you have it, guys. Rob, thank you very much. Thanks for coming on. Insightful things that you mentioned today, and all the best. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All the best.